The gigantic disappointment from Saints practice on Wednesday is that Chase Young has already been ruled out for Sunday's game against the New York Giants. And, man, I don't want to belabor this point, but, whenever the Saints were preparing for the opener against Arizona, it was Nick Underhill, I know, who tweeted it. They had locker room availability, and Chase Young sort of walking by was overheard shouting like, "No big deal, I'll be back soon." I'm paraphrasing, but it was a quick thing, and everyone sort of just assumed that this was going to be a relatively light, easy thing, and he'd be back quickly. And I know we've talked about it, but remember, in the NFL, you can start the season on PUP, and that allows you to sit for 4 weeks and not count against the 53-man roster. So it's a tool that teams have at their disposal so as not to be disadvantaged on the roster, right? If you know a player is going to be out for an extended period of time, you put him on short-term PUP or short-term IR, I should say, and you can use that roster spot in the interim. But if you expect a player is going to be back within 4 weeks, then you obviously wouldn't put them on short-term IR. Well, the Saints chose not to put Chase Young on short-term IR, and you can only use so many of those designations throughout the course of a year, so you got to be mindful of it. But a guy like Chase Young, who was with you a year ago and your highest-priced free agent signing this year, it's your best edge rushing defensive end. If you have a chance to get him back, of course you want him back. So I understood not putting him on short-term IR in case you could have him back even for one game. But as soon as you got to Buffalo last week and he wasn't going to be available to play, you screwed up. And then now, on Wednesday of this week's game with the Giants coming in, which you're favored for the first time this year, it's your most winnable game to this point with a rookie quarterback coming in. You love to have your best pass rusher to affect him. On Wednesday, he's already ruled out. Like, typically you don't have, game designations like questionable or out until you get to Friday. On Wednesday, he's already ruled out? That's now 5 games. I mean, the Saints have screwed this up royally, and it makes me wonder a couple of things, and only time will certainly tell here. But the question is, did the Saints screw up this diagnosis from jump and not recognizing how severe it was going to be, that it was going to take 4, 5, 6, whatever weeks to come back from this calf? Or, and I'm going to be very clear here that I am speculating, and I'm not suggesting this is what's happened, but I think it's the other question that needs to be asked. Like, is Chase Young milking this? And I don't want to be presumptive, but this is a guy with an injury history, and maybe he's cleared and doesn't want to come back yet. And I mean, no two injuries are exactly alike, but if I could present to you like what happened with LSU and West Weeks. West Weeks was injured late in the Florida game. It was a calf strain. Looked bad at the time, right? Towel over his head. He was crying, head down. They held him out against Southeastern and then played him against Ole Miss. He played the whole game. There was 1 week off with a calf strain, suffered in game. So either the Saints dramatically misdiagnosed this injury, the severity of this injury, or something's going on to where Chase Young isn't able or isn't willing to get back on the field yet. I mean, Kellen Moore was asked point blank on Wednesday when he met with reporters if Chase Young has had a setback. Listen to what he said.
No, nothing. No, same process. He's been doing an awesome job through this recovery process. I think sometimes these timelines, we can't get caught up into narrowing our focus. We got to let it play itself out. Everyone's different, but he's doing an awesome job. He's doing an awesome job, and when he's available and ready, he'll hop out there as soon as he is. So,
if that's true, if he's doing an awesome job in his recovery, then the Saints screwed this up. The coaching staff, the medical staff, they screwed it up. Because I mean, this is the guy that you went and invested your biggest free agent deal in to be your starting edge rusher, your best pass rusher, and now you're going to not have him for 5 games. And on the flip side, you're seeing guys like Foster Moreau and Taysom Hill coming back from devastating knee injuries much earlier than anticipated. You know, you look at the Giants, and they're playing Jaxson Dart, a rookie quarterback, and this is an offense that is middle of the league in the rushing and passing statistical categories. And keeping in mind, part of that is a game where Russell Wilson against Dallas threw for nearly 500 yards, which is gonna skew your statistics through 4 weeks a smidge. Jaxson Dart threw for just over 100 yards last week. I think it was 100. I'm not looking at it right. I think it was 111 yards last week against the Chargers. And now he's got to come on the road. You sure would love to have your best pass rusher, who was one of the league leaders in pressures a year ago, ready to go. In this game in particular, where you finally feel like you can get on the board and win one, and you don't have him. I can't help but look at this any other way except to say the Saints screwed this up, or Chase Young is milking this and should have been back by now. If you believe Kellen Moore at face value and he didn't have a setback, then something else is wrong. Like, just intuitive, like just common sense, something tells you that this isn't right. If Chase Young was adamant that this wasn't going to be a long-term thing, and they didn't put him on short-term IR, it means they anticipated having him back within 4 weeks. And if he didn't have a setback, then they either misdiagnosed him or he's just unwilling to come back right now. It's I don't know what else it could be, unless if Kellen Moore's just not being truthful about the setback. And if that's the case, then we'll find out in time. But again, that's why there's an injury report. You have to disclose these things. And he continues to be on the injury report here, and he's out for this week against the Giants, which is massively disappointing with a great opportunity to go out and get your first win. You're not going to have Chase Young for the game. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.